Hello everyone, this is Angel Esquivel here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be reviewing The Devil Wears Prada 2, directed by David Frankler and starring Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci, which is a very weird last name for a man. The original director and the original cast is back for the sequel. So, without further ado, let's get to the review. Bitch. So this movie is a direct sequel to the original Devil's Wear Prada back in 2006. This one takes place 20 years later. So it stars our character Andrea, played by Anne Hathaway. She comes in, she has a different type of job. Then she hears the news that Miranda, who is played by Meryl Streep, I guess she's no longer relevant. She's kind of not that popular anymore. And so she goes back to working with Miranda to try to help promote her new stuff. And we also see Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci. Okay, I'm just say Stanley, okay? I don't like saying the word Tucci. That sounds weird. Yeah, Nigel is also back in the movie, and Emily, also played by Emily Blunt, also has the same name. She has her own company, and she's her own new boss, working in in a different fashion show. So this movie kind of plays out the same as the original movie, obviously they're trying to come up with some new kind of plan and to keep their brand, alive and something like that. Yeah, we get introduced to new characters. And obviously, they're 2026. It's obviously they're gonna have cell phones around and stuff. It almost just feels the same. There's not really much to say about this movie because when watching this movie in Dolby, which is honestly I don't know why this movie had to be filmed in Dolby. It just almost felt like the same shit. I guess the reason why they did that is because obviously they had Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was in the movie. And obviously, she made a song for this movie. This movie is not entirely bad. Obviously, funny story. Before going into the movie, I was just waiting outside of the auditorium at Dolby, and I noticed that a bunch of women were mainly going inside, and I was a little hesitant to even go inside because I'm what if I'm the only man there? And I'm oh god, this is gonna be awkward. Until I saw another guy go in, I'm oh okay, I feel safe and confident to even go inside. This movie, you get some little laughs and then and there. It could be funny at times, but not as early 2000s funny. Which is it's funny. Their humor, honestly, I feel their humor in the early 2000s needs to be studied because something about the humor in the 2000s works. But the humor now just feels almost a little flat. And performances from both Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley T. They did their performance well, and I was surprised how they aged, and especially Meryl Streep. This was 20 years later, and wow, she aged the same. She literally looks like what she looked like back in 2006. Anne Hathaway aged well, Emily Blunt aged well, and even Stanley. This guy, obviously, I'm surprised he even aged well for someone who's in his 60s or 50s, 70s, don't know, but yeah, they literally look the same. I mean, they're celebrities, they must have done something, or maybe they could have been replaced, but that's just a theory. A film theory. No, I'm fucking with you. So yeah, this movie, it's okay, it's good. Obviously, the only downside is that it almost feels like I said, it feels the same as watching the movie. So obviously, it's just then again, I do recommend you do give it a watch. Any good things? Obviously, the performance, the cast, they did a great job. Some music is really. I'm glad they actually brought that song from the original movie that they also included, which is kind of the theme song to the movie. Not entirely, but yeah, but it is a really good song. Oh, and Lucy Liu. Oh my god, I'm my Asian crush celebrity. I'm glad that. Oh my god, she looks beautiful. Yeah, that's it. I didn't care about her performance. She just looks beautiful. So yeah, so it's a good movie. Almost feels the same. Feel like it didn't really need a sequel, but it's not entirely bad. So yeah, but my final verdict for this movie, I probably give it like a 6 out of 10, like a 6.5. You know, it's like it's still good, but I mean, then again, it feels a little like the same. I know I keep saying that a lot, but you know, I do recommend you do give it a watch if you're like a group of women just caring to watch a movie and stuff. So in conclusion, eat healthy and you'll live a very long life. Well, that's going to be today's movie review, so make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon up there. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram page called Thunderstruck1810. This is Angel Esquivel here, and as always...
Schat, je bent niet gezond zijn op dit of wat? Ogenlief, aanstakt, overal. Hé, maar wat zeg je gaat bijzigast? Je past van een nieuwe man ophangen. Zou misschien beter een bikje de rol gaan eten. En je taart het nou het lakken van de ouders natuurlijk, ja. Loser!